All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my annual video predictions for what I think is going to happen next season. This time, double digits for The Walking Dead Season 10. Alright dudes, spoiler warning if you are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which means if you have not seen the finale yet for The Walking Dead Season 9. So in this one, we'll be doing our predictions and give our thoughts on what we think is going to happen in The Walking Dead Season 10. And as per usual, since we don't have a trailer, we don't have a description, we don't have any promo or sneak peek videos or anything, because of course Season 9 just finished, Season 10 will be totally fresh and new, and we won't get our trailer until about July time, around Comic Con time. So until then, what do we have to go by to give our thoughts on what we think will happen next in next year's sequence in the 10th season for The Walking Dead? So what we do have to go by, and what we can use at least for starters to give our thoughts on what will happen and how things will likely be adapted, is we have the Walking Dead comic book series. So it's okay if you guys have never read it through. Basically, we'll go through the events from the comics, or at least some of them, and give our thoughts on how we think they will be adapted next year in The Walking Dead Season 10. So of course, in the finale episode for The Storm, we see the blizzard come through, we see the kingdom shut down, we see the snow in the wintertime everywhere. Going into Season 10, I don't expect that we'll still be in wintertime. I think that it will basically, this was our wintertime episode with Season 9 finale. I thought it was really cool to get to see the wintertime, but to be honest with you, after getting to see it for a whole episode, I feel like, okay, that was cool, good enough. I don't necessarily need to see it all the time, and walkers are probably more, it's cool to see for a change in the snow, but they're probably more kind of interesting maybe in regular summer or spring type of weather. So I would think that The Walking Dead Season 10 will bring us back into that springtime type of thing. Maybe it'll skip ahead a couple months or something, so the winter is over, and we'll be back into spring or early summer type of territory when things launch off. If they haven't already kind of showed us that in the Whisper scene. Because in the Whisper scene, when they return, it sort of looks like it's warmer there. You don't see all the snow everywhere when she's taking off her mask and stuff like that when they get back. And, Beta's doing the whippings. So I tend to think that we've probably seen the end of the wintertime, and next year in Season 10 we'll start things off in the early spring, most likely. So in terms of things via the comics and how far along are we just basically finished all of Volume 24 of Life and Death of the Walking Dead comic series, and as I take a look in this, the TV series is more and more all the time starting to look so different from the comics. It's really crazy. So after Volume 24, we get Volume 25, No Turning Back. So we've seen actually some of the parts of this one with No Turning Back already. And basically, the way it goes or how things happen is, in this volume, we get to see the fair. You can see the fair on the front there with the colors and everything. And after that, of course, the Whispers come through, and it's very similar in the comics as what we saw in Episode 15. Episode 16, which is the episode we just saw with the kingdom falling, the snowfall, and everything like that, really is not really in the comics at all. So that's kind of a new add-in, which I thought was good. I'm not going to call it filler. I don't necessarily think it was filler. It's just the television series going in a different direction. So Volume 25, No Turning Back for Season 10. So this is likely where we'll start from. And, what happens in this one? Well, mostly it's dealing with the ramifications of the Whisperers' attack. So the Whisperers had killed all of these different people from the communities, and starting a little bit with this in the finale, I suppose, is how people feel about it. So how the survivors feel about what's happened, and we get to see some trouble break out in that Rick at the beginning does not necessarily want to go to war with the Whisperers. He doesn't really want to. Again, Rick. So keep in mind, this guy's not in the TV series anymore. We know, right? So obviously it's different. So the communities don't necessarily want to go to war with the Whisperers, even after all of those character deaths. But because of the fact that there were so many people impacted and so many people affected by all of the people that Alpha did actually kill. Because of that, it's really not Rick's call. It's really not his decision to deny the people of the communities their vengeance. And so Rick is actually attacked at one point by a couple of the survivors there, and almost killed, really. So in terms of next season, we haven't seen a scene like that where somebody has been attacked as a result of like a civil war type of situation where one of the leaders gets attacked by one of the victims of the, or not a victim, but one of the family members or people that cared greatly for one of the victims that Alpha killed, because he's not really willing to just go to war with the Whisperers right away to seek vengeance for what Alpha did with the people that were killed. So I'm thinking the TV series next year, I wouldn't be surprised maybe if somebody attacked Lydia. I think that makes sense. If Lydia and Daryl are there, maybe Daryl will have to save her or something. Maybe some people at the hilltop in the premiere, or in the first couple episodes of The Walking Dead season 10, somebody will probably attack Lydia for what happened, and she might either have to fight her way out of it. She may take a beating pretty good, but Daryl or somebody might save her afterwards. Who would be the culprit of the one to do it? I don't know. There's that the male teenager that's still around, because Rodney was killed and Addie was killed. So the other one there, he's there at the hilltop. I think he's still alive. So maybe he could be one in the beginning of season 10 that could attack her or do something like that. Or it could be somebody else. Maybe it's not Lydia. Maybe it's, I don't know. Who else would be somebody that could be attacked? Ezekiel or somebody like that. For what's happened, something like that, because that is an event that's pretty big in here. And this is basically Negan whispering in Rick's ear that you have to make the people feel safe, and you have to make them feel secure. So that brings in basically the start of them forming a military, which in the TV series version, we still haven't seen any of this. On the cover here, you have Dwight, who's going to be in fear now, so don't expect to see him back anytime soon. We have Laura, and we have some of the other, people that are in the military. You can see it's green. So the Joint Surviving Communities put together a military because the Whisperers are such a threat and are so dangerous that the people need to feel protected. Otherwise, it's causing the whole communities to become destabilized. So they do that. They put together a military. I'm predicting, I think Daryl will lead the military. I mean, kind of a no-brainer. I mean, obviously, Trev, right? So Daryl will probably be the one to lead the military there, and he won't be the leader of a community in particular, but he'll be the leader of a military. And I won't go into some of the specific events and specific spoilers here, but at the end of season 9, Negan finds out from Michonne that they crossed into the Whisperers' territory, and seemingly, so far as we know, it seems to have been okay. It doesn't look like any of the Whisperers saw them directly. Of my knowledge, I did miss like maybe 30 seconds or 20 seconds of a scene because I'd go to the washroom, around half. So I don't think the Whisperers know that the survivors did cross into their territory. So it's possible Negan may go out and he may cross into the Whisperers' territory himself, but he may pretend or act like he's not a member of the survivors. So then maybe something will happen with that. I don't know. And eventually maybe we could see a fight break out between him and Beta here. But some people think that maybe instead of it being Negan that goes into the Whisperers' territory, maybe someone like Carol could go into the Whisperers' territory. I think that could be cool. Also, if she figures out that the Whisperers have the ability to challenge the leader, and she's a female, so that she herself, Carol, could challenge Alpha, that could be an epic fight to the death, and one that also I think Beta would probably stay out of. You know what I mean? I don't think Beta, if Beta as a male, as a 6 foot, whatever Ryan Hurst, 6'7", 6'5", whatever tall this big monster is, this huge guy, was there, and someone challenged her, it's kind of the rules of the Whisperers that she has to answer the challenge, and if it's not a male, if it's a female, then that kind of feels fair. So he may have to kind of back off and say, okay, female, she's even older than you and stuff, so okay, you guys, challenge whatever, and we'll see what happens. So I think that could be really cool. Maybe Lydia could tell Carol something about how the Whisperers' rules work, and if she is to go and join the Whisperers and play possum and then challenge Alpha when the time is right. That could be cool. Maybe avenge Henry in that way and go after. So maybe swap things up that way. I think that'd be really, really sweet. And then, okay, so here obviously the Whisper of War. So I know, guys, All Out War. I know not everybody's a fan of All Out War. Just chill with it for a bit. Okay, the Whisper of War. So as everything's going on here, as all these different things are happening, at some time in season 10, if this is like the first half or something, and then we see the events of that kind of wrap up, then maybe in the second half of season 10, we see the start to the Whisper of War. We see the Mega Herd come out to play. We see maybe Negan and Lucille take on Beta, which could be an incredible fight scene. You guys know that would be like a dream come true to see Negan, good guy Negan, right? Vegeta Negan with Lucille fighting against Beta. That would be so awesome. I would love to see that. Daryl's somewhere in the mix too. Yeah, man, so that would be, some of the highlights for the second half of season 10. And then to wrap things up, the last volume we have, because they do about 3 to 3.5 volumes a year usually. A Certain Doom is volume 28. And this one is really big. I wouldn't expect for them to get all the way through all the events that happen in this one, but there's basically some pretty huge character deaths in this one. And I have no idea, with how small the roster is here. The main thing of this one is there's a major character death, but there is a certain character that's going to be leaving The Walking Dead this year, which is Michonne. So obviously we have to account for that too. So I would not be surprised if this is either pushed into the next year, or if this is basically so different that it's like, they use like a smaller character or something, or it's just totally, completely different. Because, knowing that Rick's not there, knowing that Michonne's not going to be there, unless they kill Michonne off or something and they adapt it that way, which I don't think they'll kill Michonne off. I think she'll leave for the movies, and that's what they're going to do with that. So that's another prediction for you guys. So all in all, season 10, what are we looking at, Trev? Springtime start, probably. Civil unrest in the communities, Alexandria and the Hilltop, as a result of all the people the Whisperers killed. Weak leadership in both, being prosecuted by those underneath them in the communities because, or attacked, right? Or maybe Lydia being attacked, Ezekiel being attacked, somebody who's at the forefront being attacked, maybe Michonne, because of some of the people that were killed, either in Alexandria or in the other communities. So that, and then after that, Michonne, of course, leaving. There's got to be a story around why she leaves. So maybe Michonne is attacked and she decides that she needs to leave or something. I don't know. We'll see how they write that in and how they work that out next year for Michonne to leave. And, of course, there's always the question of whether or not Maggie's going to return. Maybe we get to see the Commonwealth, and it's Stephanie on the radio with Eugene that we heard in the last scene of season 9. And so, they have to go to the Commonwealth or something, Eugene and the others. Maybe that's another story arc they can adapt for a couple of episodes. Maybe we see Maggie for a couple of episodes, but she stays there or something. And we'll see, man. It looks like good season. So Whisper of War likely for second half, and it probably won't be as formal as All Out War. It'll be more like a building up of the military over the first half, civil unrest, building up to a certain point, and then the second half conflict with the Whisperers and Alpha, and maybe hopefully Carol getting her vengeance on Alpha is what I'm really rooting for. So that'll be really cool, man. I'm hoping that's what we do see. And wow, man, this is going to be awesome stuff, right? I hope that like Carol versus Alpha, Negan versus Beta. These are some awesome, possible matchups we could see coming up next year, and they're well set up too. So I'm heavily looking forward to The Walking Dead season 10. Even though it's been running for 10 years, I feel like it's still just as good as ever after season 9 ended, maybe better. And I can't wait to see the movie. I can't wait to see, season 10. This is a really exciting time for Walking Dead again, I think, guys. Really, really exciting. Let me know what you think. What are your predictions for season 10? How are they going to work in all these things? The Whisperers and the war that's coming up, the military building up to it, someone being attacked, Michonne leaving, Maggie maybe coming back, Commonwealth worked in there. How are they going to work all these things into the same kind of season? I would say that that's too much for a season, but then that's kind of what they did with season 9, right? So, crazy stuff. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this video today, please thumb it up below. Share at the bottom through to Facebook or to Twitter if you wouldn't mind for me, please. I'd appreciate it. And subscribe if you're new for lots more Walking Dead videos coming up in the future. Thank you guys for another great year. Lots of fun with Walking Dead this year, and looking forward to many more to come in the double-digit years. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace, guys. I'll see you soon.